There's plenty of coin in it.
What is it?
You look like a well-travelled man, and I'm looking for someone like that. Let me put it this way. I know how to come by some serious wealth, treasure, so to speak, and I'm willing to share this information with you for a trifling sum.
I've no time for such talk.
Tall tales?
Good day to you.
The bailiff sent me. He said you're looking for a cook.
That's right. I'm searching for a good cook, but I've said all that to our esteemed bailiff.
Well, I offered the bailiff my help because I know the Skalitz folk.
Ah, I see. Well, ask away then.
Do you have any particular requirements for the new cook?
Well, it would be an advantage if she knew how to cook.
Well, yes, but the bailiff said you had other conditions.
Well, I want a woman who's capable of looking after the house when I'm away on business.
Young, nimble.
What for? I want her to impress people with her food, not her face.
I understand. Sorry. I also heard there are vacant carrier jobs.
Yes, yes. I'm surprised it hasn't occurred to anyone sooner. It will certainly benefit the city if the burghers don't have to send their own servants.
It will benefit my people as well.
Of course, it goes without saying.
I also heard that you need workers to carry, to empty latrines.
It's not dignified to talk of such manners. That's not a concern for decent people.
But I need to know...
Enough. I won't have such talk in my home.
My respects to you.
About that debt. Here you are.
Thank you. I'm glad to see you're a man of honour. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Would you teach me more about alchemy?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention.
What is it? Be a bit more careful.
My respects to you.
How does life in Rattay suit you?
It'd be fine if we didn't have to sleep in hovels and beg for alms. And the bailiff is always on our backs, the bastard. But what can we do? We've got nowhere else to go.
Did you find out what actually happened?
What do I know? The lords are at each other's throats, but it's us that has to suffer for it. Same as always. I reckon they was after the silver mines, wasn't they?
I'd like to ask about our former neighbours. There are jobs here for some of them, and I have to pick people.
The bailiff told me about it. He still wants our people to do the knacker's job?
But what of it? It will benefit everyone.
Not everyone. There's not enough work for everyone, and no one wants to do the knacker's job.
But having a job could save someone's life.
Water carrying, maybe. But if they have to do a job that's not fit for a decent person, only for the knacker or the executioner's servant?
So you think there's no point in it? That it's better to beg than have a job, even if it is horrid shit?
You forget that that's a job for the knacker's hired hand, not for displaced people. When we return to Skalitz, they'll never be able to rid themselves of the stink.
So, do you know who's most in need of some coin and is fit for hard work?
Everyone's in need of coin, but not everyone is fit for such work.
But who should I talk to then? Where will I find them?
I'll talk to them myself and send them to meet you in front of the Rathaus, so they'll all be in one place. It'll take me a while, though.
I'm also looking for a cook. Do you know of a good cook who's looking for work?
Well, there's Agnes. I've heard she can cook better than anyone. Only...
Well, what's the problem? Did something happen to her?
No, it's just that I haven't seen her around here for ages. I believe she's cooking for the local parish priest and living at the presbytery. So I don't think she's in need of work.
Thanks. I'll go. How are you coping?
As well as we can, Henry. You can be glad Sir Radzig took you into his service. I'm sure you know.
You mean you want me to bring you game from the woods? Are you mad? That's poaching.
No, that's not what I meant. It's the townspeople here who have a taste for game. They want to live like the nobility, see? A few of the burghers have been to see me already, to ask if we'd try our luck in the woods. They promised us supplies in exchange. Flour, lard, eggs, and the like. But we can't afford to take the risk of poaching. We're barely tolerated as it is. If one of ours got caught in the woods, they'd hang him from the nearest tree. But I was thinking, you're in Sir Radzik's garrison, and you go hunting with Sir Hans. You could help us.
Well, I got away with brawling with Lord Capon, so I don't suppose they'll string me up for a few hares.
Great, Henry. I really appreciate it. The local tailor was asking me about getting some hares to put on a feast for a visiting merchant.
All right, I'll bring you something.
Thank you. You'll be saving us from starvation.
Maybe I could get you some work, if you know how to cook food for nobles.
And where would I learn that? In Skalitz? If it's gruel with lard you're after, fine. But that ain't really fair for a lord.
No, I reckon not. Well, it's not a job for you then.
So why waste my time talking about it? Come back when you've something worthwhile to tell me.
Only pure and...
Are you Agnes, who works at St. James?
I am. Or I did, before those devils rolled in and burnt down Skalitz. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for a good cook and housekeeper, and everyone I asked sent me to you.
Oh, I've been blessed by God.
So it seems. Anyway, the local merchant wants someone who can cook food fit for nobility and take care of his household.
Well, Father Francis was very fond of good food, but I can't just go serve someone else.
Merchant Hagen isn't just anybody.
I've heard of him, that he's a good Catholic.
Really? Well, yeah, sure he is.
Truly. People still talk about the lovely service he arranged for his wife's funeral.
So you wouldn't mind being his housekeeper?
Well, I don't know. What will Father Francis do?
Where's Father Francis now?
I don't know. The last time I saw him, he was going to confession in Sasau. But that was before all these terrible things happened. I've heard no word of him since then.
Does he go to Sasau often? Where does he stay when he's there?
Not so often. About once a month. He always used to stay in the inn near the monastery, so he wouldn't have far to go.
I'll ask around about what happened to Father Francis. I'll let you know. What do you want?
I want to work. And I heard you're the one in charge of giving out jobs, not the bailiff.
It's true. Do you know how to cook? If you know how to make food for nobles, then I might have something for you.
Where would I learn to cook food for nobles? I want to carry water.
But Alex has already picked people who want to carry water.
He didn't ask me, though. So I came here myself.
Be that as it may, I already have the people I need to carry water. And anyway, it's no job for a woman.
I'm strong enough to knock you on your arse, you pup.
Good health to you.
Are you here on account of the water carrying?
Yes, I am. My name is Vincent.
Nice to meet you. I'll ask a few questions and we'll see, all right?
Fine. Ask away.
What did you do before this?
I work for my father.
Doing what? Who's your father, anyway?
He was Moimir. We had a farm near Scarlet's.
Really? His farmhands came to the tavern a lot, but I never saw you there.
I don't go to taverns.
How are you holding up?
Well, I'm alive. But I miss my father. And the farm, too. But Ma says there's no use dwelling on it. Life must go on.
What happened with Bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
I don't know. I didn't talk to him at all.
So you're probably here about carrying water, right?
I want to carry water.
That's all? You've nothing more to add?
That's what's needed, ain't it?
That's enough for now.
Jesus Christ be praised.
You're one of the people interested in work?
Well, Alex told me that I'm supposed to ask about a job carrying water.
That's right. But first, I'll ask you a few questions. You are...
Peter. But everyone calls me Rock. There was more than enough Peters in the mines, and not just in the mines. So...
At the mines? So you're a miner?
That's right. I worked in the East Shaft, and I hope I'll be working there again. Now that I think of it, have you heard anything from their lordships? When will they open the mines again?
I have no idea what their lordships plan to do about it.
All right. I just thought you might have heard something.
How badly do you want to carry water?
Well, right now there doesn't seem to be much work around for miners. And at least I can earn a few groschen.
It's not easy work, though. It's a long way to carry water.
Do you think it was easier in the mines? Digging through rock on your knees all day for months on end?
There's one more option. Carrying shit.
What? For the knacker?
It's a job.
But what would people say? I need money badly, but I couldn't go back to mining after that.
But it would be twice the pay.
The money would help, true enough. What about afterwards? I don't want to be carrying shit all my life.
Look at it this way. You earn double the money in the same time, or the same money in half the time. That's not bad, is it?
Well, you have a point. I could get it over and done with quickly, and... All right, I'll take it. I suppose it won't kill me.
Good. I'm sure you won't regret it. How are you holding up?
You mean this here? Well, I've got feeling back in my arm again.
What happened to it, anyway?
That time in Skalitz. I was knocked down by a horse, but it's better now.
But can you handle carrying water? It's no easy matter.
Sure I can. Like I said, my arm's fine.
The bailiff said he couldn't get a word out of you.
Well, he's not the most popular man around here, after everything that's happened. You can't blame us.
Maybe, but if you lot had just talked to him, I wouldn't have to run around dealing with this, and you'd all have a few groschen by now.
You might be right. But there's no point crying over spilt milk.
That's enough for now.
Good health to you.
You're interested in carrying water?
I am. It's about time something good came to decent folk.
I agree. Now, I'll ask you a few questions.
What? But I want the work and I deserve it. Keep your questions for good-for-nothings.
What makes you so deserving? How did you make a living before this?
I was the owner of a mine. Well, I had a lease on it. But in our line of work, it amounts to the same thing.
The chief, eh? But have you ever hauled a bucket of ore up a hill?
There's no hill in a mine. Just a shaft with a winch.
It's hard work carrying water.
So is taking care of a mine.
It's not quite the same thing, is it? You need brawn to carry water, not brains.
I wasn't born a mine owner, you know. I've done my share of hauling.
There's also the option of, emptying latrines.
Are you trying to insult me? That's no job for a decent Christian.
True. That's why it pays double.
Double, hey? Oh, that's not bad, but, for a man of my stature, no doubt there are more needy souls. Double.
How are you holding up in Ratai?
Not too well. I've tried offering my administrative abilities at the rat house, but the bailiff treats me like a peasant.
He's not an easy man to deal with, true enough. But if you show him what you're capable of...
Well, if he gives you a chance to show him...
But the bailiff complained he couldn't get a word out of you.
I refused to talk to him. Last time I did, he was vulgar, shouted and threatened to whip me. And then he comes and interrogates me.
Well, I can't see how that would put you off him. That's enough for now.
Are you serious? What?
I want to ask something else. That's enough for now.
God be with you.
You hear about the water carrying?
Aye. I can hold water all day long.
So, do you want the job? There's plenty of other folk that will take it if you don't.
I do. I want it. What do I have to do?
So tell me, what was your trade before?
I was a miner. then a farm labourer, then I was a servant, then I fled from Scullets and ended up here.
Quite the factotum, aren't you? Was none of those jobs good enough for you?
I liked them all, but they were always sending me to do something else. Pickman, they'd say. Leave this and go and do that.
Pickman? That's your name?
Actually, my real name's Vassal, but they call me Pickman.
Is that German?
No, it's from when I was in the mines, digging with a pick.
So you're keen on carrying water?
I've been keen on it since I got up this morning.
And you had another job before this morning, or what?
No. I was just joking.
Besides water, you could carry... you could empty latrines.
What? Carry shit? That'd be a new one for me. No, it's not a thing I'd go around boasting about.
How are you holding up, anyway?
What can I tell you? I've seen better days for sure.
What happened with the bailiff? He couldn't get a word out of anybody.
That peacock, what was strutting up and down and shouting at everyone? He told me he'd no time to listen to a buffoon like me. So I shut my mouth.
That's enough for now.
So, we're agreed then? When do I start working?
Look, the bailiff is the one who'll decide after I report back to him.
So, I might not get the job? I'll be in the shit if I don't. Understand?
Jesus Christ be praised.
You're here about the water carrying?
I am. Where do I get some pails?
Hold your horses. We haven't decided yet who gets the job. I have to ask you a few things first.
What for? I can handle the job. But ask away.
What trade did you do before?
I worked in the mines, at the winch. You've heard of Thunder the winch, right? Strong as a bull.
Ah, the name sounds familiar. You were one of the new miners, weren't you?
I was. I came last autumn. The winter was mild enough to work the mines, and I showed everyone I was a hard worker. So do I get the job?
We're not finished yet. Well, there's also the option of carrying, shit.
Not a chance. I'm not carrying any shit around. And if anyone tries to make me, I'll break his legs.
And what if I told you that you get double the pay?
Didn't I mention something about breaking legs?
You did, but more money?
I wouldn't be Thunder the winch anymore. More like Thunder the stench.
I know everything I need.
So, can I go carry water then?
Not yet. I'll tell the bailiff and he'll choose.
Well, I hope he chooses me. Otherwise, I might be very angry.
If you think I'm afraid of you, you're mistaken.
We'll see.
God be with you.
I know everything I need to know to pick the carriers.
Splendid. I'll be glad to get this damn business off my back. So how have you decided?
So, how do we do this? Do I just give you their names, or should I send for them?
Just tell me their names and whether they should carry water or something else. Don't worry, I'll send for them.
Peter, better known as Rock.
Peter? Rock? Didn't he get into a fight and injure his arm? Well, what should he do?
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next.
Antonia.
What? A woman?
Yeah, is that a problem? You never said it had to be only men.
I didn't, but I kind of assumed it would be clear. It's a long walk with a heavy load, man's work.
She can handle the job, have no fear.
Let's hope so. You'll have to answer to me if she can't. Where do we put her, then?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Vasil goes by the moniker of Pickman.
Pickman. I hope he doesn't have a history of pickpocketing.
No, no. They call him Pickman because he worked in the silver mines, and he was very keen with the pick. So much so, he managed to chop off 2 of his fingers.
Well, he can't do too much damage with a bucket, I suppose. Where do you want to put him?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
Cornelius.
Ah, Cornelius. I had him here once looking for a job. Where do you want to put him? I'd like to see him with buckets of shit.
Carrying shit.
Good. One person for this job. Next?
Tonda. They call him the winch.
The winch. Ought to be good with a bucket anyway. What's he going to do?
To carry water.
So we have one person to carry water. Who's next?
That's it.
Good. All decided. Now about the cook's job.
Shame I can't swim. I can't leave the domain without Sir Radzig's permission.
Hey! Over here! Where is Answer to my prayer, just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
Father, when do you plan to return to St. James?
I beg your pardon. Why do you ask, my boy?
Your housekeeper, Agnes, is in Rattay and doesn't want to work for anyone else. She's waiting for your return.
So she survived. Thank the Lord. I prayed for her and all who suffered, but I'm not going back. Tell her I appreciate her concern, but to look out for herself now.
Distress.
I asked around in Sasau. Father Francis is doing well in Sasau. He has no plans to return to St. James anytime soon.
You talked to him? How is he doing? Doesn't he need his cassock fixed? He's always tearing it. There isn't a pew or a step he hasn't tripped over at one time or another.
As I said, he's doing just fine.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I chose a cook as well. Should I tell you or go to Hagen?
Tell me who you chose and I'll take care of it.
I chose old Agnes for the cook's job. I had a job convincing her, but it was worth it. She's the best cook around.
Glad to hear it. I'll have to drop in on Hagen for lunch sometime.